Feedback.
We had feedback. We had contact. I think we contacted Hey, Rocket. Listen, that one had my son on the floor. He was on the floor rocking, and it made him think of his favorite monster truck grave deck.
So how's the metal fans in Europe? Is that a like a mecca of metal?
How about this with the metal fans in Europe? Do you find a difference in the fans when you travel? Like in Europe, are they a different type of metal crowd than they may be here, or they may be in South America?
Sometimes I have the impression that metal bands have more audience here in Europe. You know, we have this huge festival called Wacken Open Air. And since Berlin is united, we have a very healthy young thrash metal scene here. We are in contact with a lot of those bands. And I think it is a little better here in terms of metal than it might be in America. But I might be wrong, you know, because now, since a few years, rock and roll is back, you know. And I consider us more like a rock and roll band.
Because I've been over there. I actually played soccer over in Ipswich for a couple of years. I found the music scene over there to be quite different than it is over here. I think the fans over there, they were a bit more open to various musics, various sounds, where here people tend to get locked into one thing and everything else is garbage to them. I think I see that a little less over there in Europe.
I'm not really sure, because I also have the feeling there is a big audience for rock and roll and metal in America, but not many stations play it.
Yeah,
it's more of an underground scene.
But it is a big audience, I think.
Right.
No. Just because it's underground don't mean the audience ain't huge. It's a huge audience. Okay, you take a place like Las Vegas.
Okay.
And you take like the hip hop scene in Vegas. Not a huge hip hop scene on the surface, because the government around here in Vegas poo-poos on hip hop. They don't really want the hip hop crowd here. They don't want the shows here.
So it's really political, huh?
It's very political.
Very political.
But, I mean, they used to have an indie hip hop award show here, and they got so. What they did was, and there was, you have to understand, there was never any like issues, no problems, no violence, no police, no nothing. And it was here for 3 years. But the fourth year they were going to do the show, they actually was going to charge them 4 times the amount for the building. The insurance policy went from $1 million indemnified insurance policy to $10 million. I mean, they were trying to price them, and they did. They priced them right out the market, where they couldn't even do the show here.
Well, in Germany we had a big hip hop scene that went away a little bit, and now we are getting a real big AC/DC crowd, stuff like that. You know, you also see the fashion again, like in the 70s in the streets, which is always a good sign. You know.
That is a good sign.
The tight pants, you know, the look of the audience changed completely. And I mean, just one example. Lemmy was never touring in England except one gig in London. And I asked him why, because he said the promoters don't want me to. That was in 2001. And in 2002 the promoter said, yeah, okay, we try. I mean, there was big halls were full, you know, 5,000 people. London, 9,000 people, Wembley Arena. And I saw the first time 17, 16-year-old kids in that concert, seeing for the first time Motorhead, didn't know what to expect, totally exhausted, you know. And I realized there's a whole change going on. And Lemmy just said to me, see, there is justice, you know.
There you go. If you can see the young people in the audience, you know that it's going to keep going.
The English promoters, and that happened also with the German promoters and French promoters, they were completely wrong about it.
Which oftentimes happens.
Well, because number one, they're not looking at it from the artistic value of it, and they don't see what the fans see. Now listen, videos. You ever have any videos? Did any of your videos ever get on? Like they have the metal show on VH1.
Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball. Have you guys had any videos get on there?
Only one video called Walls Could Talk. Actually, 2 videos. Another video was called
Liquid Brain.
Liquid Brain. But that was only one time a month. MTV was just doing other things.
Well, with them, let's face it. It's all about money. The funny thing is that the show Metal Mania is so big. They had to make it just a permanent show, and it comes on practically every day. So
Well,
you know if it's coming on every day, it's a moneymaker for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That says something.
It really
does.
does. It really does.
It does.
And see, the only music I really cannot just sit up, and groove to is opera. I can't do it. And I'm not saying that they're not talented, because quite opposite. They're very talented. I can't sit up to it and listen to it. I can listen to some opera, but I can't sit up and listen to that crap. But anything else, I can pretty much listen to any music and groove to it. I like all music. I love all music. And you know what? That's really what we're trying to do here at VRADIO. As a matter of fact, what we do is, like, when we get music, I know what I wanted to ask for now. When we get music, I don't even really listen to it. If an independent artist comes and they register with us and say, we want our music on your station, can we get into rotation? You sure can. Just register, send us your MP3s, and we'll put you in rotation. I don't even care if they're good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter to me. It's what the people out there think. The people who listen. That's who determines who stays on the air or not.
Right.
And if it came down to me, there would be a lot of songs that I wouldn't play. And I think that's wrong. I think you're becoming very commercial when you do that. And a lot of indie stations, will tell you, send me your press kit, send me this. Well, hell, man, who the hell do you think you are? I mean, are you a commercial radio station? Are you being paid by big record labels to play their music on your station? No. So I'll take anybody. I don't care whether I like them or not. I let the people decide, and that's what we're building here. Now, the question that I did want to ask you guys: more music. How can we get more of Skew Siskin's music? We want your music to play.
Well, we are fortunate enough that a lot of people like the same music we do, because when we record songs, we can only record we like.
Yes.
We cannot sing. You cannot think about somebody else when you do that, because then you start going nowhere. And if other people like it too, that's a big bonus. So that fortunately happens with us, and we are very happy about that. You cannot be good on stage if you play music in your heart you don't like, and you do only music because the record company says so. We have seen very good bands going down doing this, and it's better to stick to your own roots and first do music you like, and then hope that other people like it too.
What's been your best tour moment?
We just came from a Motorhead tour, and next day we jumped on an Alice Cooper tour. And the first day, Alice Cooper was watching us from the balcony. And after the show, the manager took me aside and told me, well, this was a short notice. I mean, and how are you going to do the tour? Just tell me. I said, well, I'm figuring out why we are touring, I mean, keep in mind, we have no big organization behind us, And then the manager said, well, I got to tell you, Alice Cooper loves your show, and you can put your equipment in our truck, and we have some beds free in the nightliner with the crew, and all you have to take care for is your catering, So I did a deal with the caterer for $20 per person a day, and then we did the tour like this. And this was fantastic help from Alice Cooper. He actually said, I'm glad that this band is still alive, And when the tour ended, we wanted to say goodbye to him, and he said, well, I thought you're coming with us to Scandinavia. And I said, well, actually, thanks, but now we are totally out of money, but we love to do it one time again, We are still in contact with his organization, so he's also a big supporter of us.
Very good. That's absolutely phenomenal.
Nice.